Hey guys and gals, let's continue on with the succulents by Lego. This is the Botanical Collection for the Lego Creator Expert, and we are doing bag 3 tonight. And yeah, let's get started. I just got done filming a tutorial. It was a pretty easy one. Took about an hour to film. Well, by the time I'm done editing the footage down to be like probably less than 5 minutes. So, and I can't tell you what it is because I don't know if it has been released or not when this is being released. Or it may never get released for a while. I film things in advance when the ideas just pop up into my head. So I kind of just go from there. And I may need to adjust this tripod a little bit, as I want you to get your succulents. Sometimes the names that these are named, I just don't understand. According to their building guide, everything is a succulent. Well, we'll just go on here with this. Trying to think of anything that has happened. Not really. I've been going through a lot of just going through parts, sorting things out. Not for this set, but for my collection. And sometimes it's always good to sort your parts because you never know. And I noticed this memory card that I have in here hasn't been dropping out like the old ones. That tells me the old one has been exhausted. You know, it's tired. Just like me, I'm getting tired, but I want to finish my succulents. I hadn't had my succulent today, so now I got to get it done so I can review it. So far, the last two builds have been okay. So we already got this part done here. Now we're building plants, but it doesn't tell us what we're building yet, so we're just going to have to guess. Put that off to the side. And these parabolic rings are always good for making trees. If you're building spruce trees, this is actually a pretty good color, or you can get the medium nougat version. So we actually got to stack 3 plates on top of one another, and then a dome and a flower. Okay, cool. Why don't you just give me one round brick? Would have been better, unless they're going for the texture on the side. Alright. I still haven't mounted my camera up here yet, so you're going to see this wiggle for a bit. It's all about getting time off of work to do this type of stuff. I've been working around the house and stuff, but that's, you know, non-Lego related. Okay, there's the flower. I'm not a big fan of this color of this manual. It just feels kind of gloomy, something you'd see like in Star Wars. You know, so this goes in the middle. So far it has not moved. I have a feeling we're going to have one of these that's going to be weak. Okay, so we got to take some of these and fill up all the plates. These are kind of like a tooth piece. And we set those in, and you got to push them all the way to get over there, Mr. Egg. I mean, there's a lot of green pieces in here, you know, in various shades that you could use for landscaping. So, you know, if you were to pick up the set, it'd probably be good for that. But it's really still not my taste. But it's starting to grow on me a bit. Would I run out and buy this, like another set like this? Like, no. It's just... But I'm just being honest. I don't want to lie to you guys and gals, because you deserve better than that. I've seen some YouTubers. This is the best set I have bought so far. And every video is like that. Well, it's like doing my tutorials. This is the best tutorial I've ever built. And what do I do a few days later? I build something even better. Then I say this is the best tutorial. Then I look back at my very first tutorials. I'm like, oh, these are not that good. Alright, so there you go. Well, that's pretty cool. Looks like a gear. And we're not... Oh, we're done. When we put that in there, it means we're done. We got to find it first. Yes, I'm going to need to order some of these friction Technic pins for my own personal builds. And right here, this says that this is the ball cactus. From 10 to 200 years, they could live that long. And we bet Lego succulents could be best that record. Well, it depends if that reddish brown doesn't break. Since I've been experiencing that. Succulents. There we go. We got that one done. Now let's do the next one. That wasn't too bad. Very easy, straightforward. Nothing broke apart. It wasn't brittle. Yes, we got a bunch of eggs up here. What are we going to use all those eggs for? I don't even know yet. We haven't... Oh, wait a minute. Right here. That should explain it. I bet if one had the money, you could. You could probably landscape your whole house with just Lego. I mean, you could. It wouldn't last too long. Well, you wouldn't have to water it, which is good if you're in a drought-prone area. Although that's a lot of plastic. Oh, I have never seen these before in person. It's like a profile brick, but it's a 2x2 by 2/3 with a cross hole. If we got any more of those floating around in there, huh? Is that the only one? Probably. Sad face, maybe. Gotta get my succulents. So, working on this last bag, I'm thinking this is just a hodgepodge full of plants with some history provided, which is pretty cool. Lego could really get into more of the history stuff, and where not only that you're building things, but you learn something new. And I'm always into learning something new. Piece of trivia or something like that. It makes things pretty cool. Alrighty. Trying to find my last succulent, my wall elements, whatever they're called. I would say wall elements, but it's called a wall succulent, huh? And you know, for those who don't watch these, you're just going to miss out on all the fun. Alright. I used to do these live too, and of course this is a set that I cannot talk about until it's released. So I'm going to have to keep my succulents to myself. Missing one of those. Oh, there it is. Okay, these little egg pieces are getting annoying, so I'm just going to take a butter container and drop the ones that are rolling around in there. Alright, so I have a feeling that this is going to be very flaky and brittle. I don't have those plates in that color. I mostly build furnishings and stuff, but still this would be good for building plants. See, I'm getting these eggs rolling around, so I'm going to put all those in there because it's going to get annoying and stuff. And well, I don't want to get my succulent in a ruffle, huh? That should be the word of the day, is succulent. That's probably why they named it that, because they knew I was going to say it a billion times, huh? Okay. And these eggs are spring green. Spring yellowish green, spring green. I love spring green. We can get some of these pieces in brick form. That'd make an awesome house color too. Goes well with white, even tan. Brown would look good with that. Can't grab a hold of that because My hands are too succulent to do that. Okay. Alrighty. So this goes in here. And we're attaching the eggs to that. Okay, so we need to find a hollow stud. I need to buy a bunch of these for trees. I use these for making my spruce trees, these little stick with holders. They really do come in handy. I just need to get a bunch of them. There we go. And then we're just going to place our eggs on there. It only tells me to make one, which is pretty good. Honestly, these would make great Easter eggs too. I'm waiting for the Lego to bring out, like, now these would be awesome in coral, orange, blue. They had some. I didn't buy them when they came out, which I should have. I kind of kicked myself in the rump for not doing so. But I wasn't too awesome to get into the eggs, so I have to get with the succulent portion now. So we're building that right there. And boy, you can tell my voice is starting to crack, huh? You know I'm getting tired. It's all that succulent activity here. And I'm not referring to anything bad or anything. We're talking about the set. Matter of fact, my main priority is doing the tutorials first before I do these. And then I worry about the reviews. And since Lego sent these to me, I do these first before I do the stuff that I've purchased. So I kind of just mix them up, but I'm on a deadline on this one, so I have to get it done. Okay, so we take the... these look like a little what you'd find in a shower, like a shower faucet or something, like a little thing that hangs out of the wall. So we're just going to have to place 4 of these succulents in there. That's the word of the day. I may just title this video, the word of the day is succulent. I mean, they use it a billion times in the manual, so I guess I could do that too. And we stick another one of these. You know what, hold on, before I finish this up, let's make sure that we only build one of these. Yes, I don't want to make sure, and he's like, oh, you're going to have to make 20 of these. You're like, oh, I got to go back and do that again. So you stick these on here. I didn't think about using these for like plants and stuff, but that's pretty cool. You can use those attached leaf elements to something too, huh? Do we really care if it's straight? Well, yes. Because it's not that awesome. And we put our egg on the top here too. And I believe there's 35 of these eggs in total. So just imagine... Oh, you almost rolled off the table there, huh? Got a little excited. But just imagine you got to do this with eggs, and this is the second of the 3 builds. Still got a 6x6 plate. Well, it's off frame, but it's there, taunting me, going, you're going to have to do one more succulent. Honestly, I've seen these in my neighborhood where they kind of hang from trees like that. So, let's see here. Okay, so we attach this to the succulent brick. There we go. Well, so far so good. It's pretty sturdy. This seems like it's a bit heavy though, so it's probably going to fall down. They should have used a friction fork in there instead, but I don't know what I'm saying because I'm just not succulent enough to do this, huh? Alright, so you put these like this, and then we shove a stick in here. How far do we shove the stick down? I always look ahead. So, and the sad thing about it is this is reddish brown, so hopefully that's the non-brittle version, because we don't want that to break. There we go. Let's see here. Let me put a piece through the bottom. Let's pick up some more of those round eggs because I'm knocking those over here. Alright. And another one of these on the top. Wow, okay. That's more like it, because that now is really sturdy. That's really strong. Now we're halfway through this book. We're getting there. And then we got to fill the whole thing up here with shower faucets. So it's 16 in total. The only one you don't put is on the top. So you got to put all these on here and they got to be facing up. The best way to do these is to do one side, rotate it, and just proceed on. So yeah, this is indeed just, now I see why it's an expert set, because you have to be an expert of staying awake putting this together, and I'm being honest, it gets repetitive after a while. And some people like the review sugar-coated, and I'm being honest, this is, if you're really into the floral stuff, yeah, but this is like, I'm into scenic stuff, like doing nature scenes, but minifig scaled. So this is kind of like, I don't know what scale this would be, probably 1:1, and no, the cactus maybe throws it off, so I don't know. Maybe we have to be succulent to understand that, huh? It's like, I feel like I can't get these things straight. And now I'm starting to feel fatigued. My eyes are starting to burn, so hopefully the last succulent won't be too bad. Oh, and when you get older you'll get arthritis and stuff. Hopefully you don't. But, like, my hands are starting to get pretty tender right now putting this together. So if your hands ache, this may not be the set for you, because you will be putting in a lot of pieces. You'll be shoving parts into tubes here. In fact, I just thought up another tutorial right now, not related to this, and when I come up with tutorials, usually it's just stuff that just pops in my mind. I just need to go in and buy the parts to build the said tutorial, and I think I'm missing probably about $1 worth of parts. One of my builds I actually have to buy the set, not because they don't have the parts in the limited pick-a-brick. It's just actually cheaper to buy the parts from the set, because the set has got a part out, for me, a part out value of like 80%. So I get to use 80% of that set in my builds. I'll go get it. I'm missing one more shower head. I need to get those in flat silver or something. Okay, and then we stick 16 eggs on this. Maybe I should start at the bottom. Actually, that doesn't look half bad with those there, huh? With the shower heads. I don't know what they're called, but I'm calling them shower heads. There we go. Put that right together. just think I got to do more of that, huh? Oh, there's another egg. We'll grab that one next. And I don't know if I can do that. I'm not a left-handed person. Yeah, see, I can't get that on there. I gotta do it. I'm a righty. Well, that one just did not want to go on. Okay. And I've had a few AFOLs in the community make fun of me because I use butter containers for sorting trays. And for me, why do I need to buy professional sorting trays when I can get family and friends to send me these and it doesn't cost me a dime? You just use the butter out of it, and then after that you would normally discard these. But why? You know, you just put these in a drawer and you got a nice little storage container. You can even put a lid on them and stuff. It's recyclable, it's repurposing, so you know, for the guys and gals who you have your professional storage, you know, kudos to you. I'll use my repurposed second-hand butter containers. They work just as well. Yeah, my hands are getting tired already from putting these on. It's this is a set here that you got to make sure, and I got to wiggle my hand, it's starting to get cramping up here by putting these on. This is just a lot of egg placing. That's pretty much what we're doing here, and as you can see, everything's kind of out of whack and stuff, so we're going to have to fluff it up. I'm not really a fan of... I'm getting to be more and more what it's like. I want to build a house or a car or a travel trailer. That's the kind of builds, you know, I want to do. Not being honest, not this stuff. Okay, we are not done yet. We got to do one more and put it on the top here. Why couldn't they give me spare eggs? Would have been nice. Okay, yeah. I guess they thought my succulent wasn't done enough, so I got to do it again. Alright. Got to make it extra succulent, huh? Alright, put that in there. I mean, it's got to be done, right? It's always the last one that's hard to grab, and we don't need that anymore. And no, I'm not sponsored by that brand. It's what people send me, family and friends. And that goes on like that. You know, matter of fact, if these were purple and they were just round, these would make great grapes. It's got a nice feel to it too, but it's not really that strong. I just feel like it's going to break. And this thing goes right here. Let's hope it doesn't break. Alright, something came off. Alright, what broke off where? Oh, I see. Well, this thing wasn't succulent enough to withstand that, huh? Yeah, it's not too bad. Alright, is that it? Yeah, well, that's it right there. And then we're doing this red thing. Well, that looks exciting, doesn't it? Alright, put that over there. I already have the other two on the right hand side out of frame. Out of sight, out of mind, I always say, but making sure the camera's still rolling. You know what I need to do is just stop the camera and save. Let's do that real quick. Okay. You never know. Had to save my succulent experience. Alright, set that in there. Reddish brown. Uh-oh, that's got me worried. Okay. So I think they're just using this here, but they're probably going to use that cross hole. And I gotta find this, which I got like billions of these gray things here. It's a 2x2 rocker bearing plate. This is a rocker bearing. This is a rocker bearing plate. So, ooh, okay, that was risky. Didn't want to break that reddish brown. And then we come in here and surround it. There we go. I won't do the review in this video, so if you're looking for the review, you'll have to go back to the main channel to watch that. Why? This is my archives behind the scenes channel, where here I can vlog and be myself and and all that stuff. I don't have to this is more like I just hit the camera and go. I don't script my videos, but this one's just more raw and unfinished. And then we put the wall elements on here. So yeah, if you got really tender hands, yeah, your hands will start turning red before you know it with this set. And that reminds me, I got to do some electrical work, like installing a light, a switch, and a plug. And to turn on and off a barbecuer, and if you want to barbecue at night, you got to turn on a light and stuff. So I got to do that. It's for my parents. I'm like, you better get me over there before it gets too hot. Alright, so it tells us which way we have to have the gears going. So, I guess it does matter. If you're not careful, okay, I'm seeing what it is here. So, the holes have to line up on the shaft. So you don't want them, let's see here. Stick that on there like that. So you don't want these to overlap. See, I got that right. I got to do that in my manuals, but I don't really mess with Technic anyways. And then we take 6 of these and we shove them in here. So more finger work here. I have a bunch of these gears and different colors and stuff, even transparent. I don't really mess with Technic all that much. It's not that it's hard or anything. It's just not really my type of builds. I did ask for some Technic sets though. It's always good to get into different battlefields of Lego. Let's see here. Making sure I got that in the right area. Oh, wait a minute. Did I do this wrong? Uh-oh, I did. Okay, this is backwards. I need to pull this out here and put it the other way. There. Whoopsie. I guess I made a mistake. That's how that's supposed to look. Okay. Okay. You managed to make it this far. Congratulations. I know some people just skim through it. I got that dreaded question again. Where do I get my parts from? I'm like, I go, Now, I was wondering what they were going to use these for. I'm not going to say what they are, so I'm just going to call them a projectile machine, because YouTube gets offended over certain words we use. So we take the projectile machine and we shove them in like this. Okay. And you know, like, what are we going to use the projectile machines for? I don't know yet. Probably to attach stuff to it. I mean, obviously that's what we're using them for. And that, speaking of that, it's so sad that we have to censor things, what we say on here. Like if I were to say, like if I were to talk about cartoons that I watched when I was a kid, then it gets flagged for children. Oh, if anybody's ever watched this old show that came out in the late 80s called Rescue 911, because when I was a kid, 911 wasn't widely available. And we got to build 6 of these here. I was watching an episode, and they were trying to catch this child molester. And what did YouTube do? Mark that video as made for kids. And I was like, seriously? Are you really kidding me? And sometimes you're just like, why? But that's YouTube for you. I don't know why they marked it for children. This is not marked for children. This is an expert set that's 18 years of age and up. And hey, you know what? Pieces like this can be very hazardous. So if you're under, well, if you're under 14, you really shouldn't be building this stuff, huh? All right. So I got to make a bunch of these. I'm going to go ahead and just do this real quick. And I'll just find some other stuff, succulent stuff to talk about. But I was watching some, I've been on a Rescue 911 fix lately, and you know, something to listen to while I'm, you know, doing work or something like that. And a lot of those shows I do remember when I was a kid, and you know, it's kind of just like, what happened to those old shows? You know, we don't have Saturday morning cartoons, unfortunately, so I can't just sit down and watch those. I have an old school television and a VCR that I can play those on, but you know, I want to be able to turn on the modern TV and watch it, but no. You know what's on now, guys and gals? Infomercials. Yeah, I mean, when I was a kid, you had lots of cartoons to watch in the morning. I mean, you literally were up at 6 a.m. and then you watched cartoons until it was like 11 or 12. And they would start putting the sports and stuff on, you know. And, you know, there was always some Dudley Do-Right out there that would say, well, kids need to have more educational stuff. And when you're off of school, you don't want to learn anymore. It's like work. You go home, why would you want to do more work? You know, it's called chores, which is different than work. So anyways, they started cutting back cartoons and stuff. And then cartoons were like, oh, these cartoons are too violent. We don't want them to be shown anymore. So they started moving some of the cartoons to cable channels. And if you didn't have cable, my parents had cable. I didn't have cable. I had a TV in my room, but didn't have cable. I just had 4 channels to watch. So cartoons started dwindling down. I remember we used to have after-school cartoons. Cartoons would start at 2 o'clock, and they wouldn't end until 5. So when you got home from school, grab a snack and watch the TV, you know. Whatever happened to all that? Well, the FCC ruined that one. So now we don't have Saturday morning cartoons anymore. We don't have after-school cartoons. What we have now is stuff that I wish never to watch. It's usually court shows, talk shows. I remember when I was a kid, we had Maury Povich and Sally Jesse Raphael, and there was Ricky Lake. I think it was Geraldo. We had a bunch of talk shows, but those were like in the afternoon before kids were out. I mean, there was probably one channel would show them. But now, you turn it on now, it's court shows. I mean, how much more Judge Judy can you watch? You know, I mean, it's just, you know, the FCC pretty much destroyed television. Now, you know, instead of, it's like television today. I don't even own a modern television. That just tells you. I mean, we had reality TV shows back in the 80s, but it's almost like that's what's on now. It's all that stuff. You really don't see anything that's worth watching anymore. I remember when I was a kid, we had Knight Rider, MacGyver, The A-Team, Fall Guy, Dukes of Hazzards on Magnum PI. There was a bunch of other ones. And now, you don't even get, there's none of that anymore. You know, it's, I mean, maybe you have CSI and a few other ones that are on. I don't watch them, but, oh, these don't go in there. But for me, it's just nothing on anymore to watch. I had an ex-friend that's all she did was watch television. And I'm like, why? You know, and just nothing on anymore. My television is the computer. Or my media server. If I want to watch a movie, you know, like, it's like watching Walking Dead. I just watch Walking Dead whenever. Alright, we are missing a part here. It's not that I don't have it, or is that it? No, okay, well, we're going to have to separate some stuff, and I'm going to have to probably pull one out of a collection here. I'm missing one of these plates. Let's put these over here. Sometimes if you're lost a little bit, you would just do this and just set things out. And sometimes you will find the parts that you're looking for. Like right now, I don't see anything. So let me get up and see if I can find it real quick, because I don't see it anywhere. I don't even see it in the viewfinder. Okay, I found my part. Just had to grab one out of my own collection. Okay. Well, at least it was something basic. It wasn't something complicated. It may turn up. Okay, so we got to put these on here. I'm taking it, these just sit on here like this. So the projectile launchers are just used for that, but I can't even get that in there. Oh, there we go. So, alright, well, I'm going to have to do that 6 times. And yeah, I've had sets missing pieces before, and I simply cannot contact Lego and say, hey, I'm missing a piece, because that's the thing we do when we sign up for this, is sometimes stuff may come in damaged or whatever, and we just have to deal with it, you know, which is fine. I didn't pay for it, so the least I can do is contribute my pieces into it. I don't have to give it back or anything. Alright, I know there's got to be something that goes in the middle of that. Alright, I am getting really tired, but we're going to finish this up today. How do they do that? Or is it just 45? Probably that's what it is. Okay. I did notice we got an extra green, but I don't know if we need that or not. If not, then they just gave me, I don't know. I was hoping to find that part. It could have fell on the floor too. I haven't vacuumed in here since I've opened this up. Well, I guess at the end we're losing a lot of parts because I don't have that piece. Alright. Making sure. Well, I don't have those in green. Make sure it's not rolled. Oh, wait a minute. Here's the... Okay, I found the plate. Okay, well, then where's the other green thing at, huh? Not in my hands. I always check my hands, too. Oh, wait. Well, it shows 3 here. Oh, okay. Well, let me see if it rolled on the floor. Okay, I found it. It was laying on the counter. Okay, so now we actually have a full house now. It means all the parts are here. Supposedly, we haven't put it together yet. Okay. How does that go on there? Okay, I see here. So it fits in the notch. Make 4 of these and shove them on. I mean, that's pretty easy, right? Sometimes I'm always scared that I didn't hit the record on this or something like that, and I'm like, uh-oh. But no, I'm recording. There we go. And are we done with that, or is there more to it? Okay, we're not done with it. Alright. Actually, this is supposed to be bolted in here. So that's what that piece was for, huh? Alright. Alrighty, let's set that down in there, and this just snaps right in there. How's that supposed to fit in there anyways, like that? Well, do I dare to keep messing with this? There we go. Yeah, this is it's like something you'd see in like Christmas time. Okay. Knights of the Succulents. Right there. Yep, the word of the day. The word of the build, actually, I should say. I'm really missing my bed right now, but I want to get this built real quick for you guys and gals. We're almost done anyways. And this goes in like that. Okay. And we're not done yet. We're not done with our succulents. Okay. Which way does that go? It goes up like that. Would have been easier if we'd done that before we put that on there. Honestly, some of these builds could have been thought out a bit better. Jay, you're knocking down the creator. They probably knock your stuff down. Yeah, I get that all the time. Okay. And I'm going to take it. This probably sits right inside the little tube. Or the peg. Alright, I need to, you know, this is, this one here is kind of rather, well, just going to be honest with you, boring to put together. This one just to me doesn't fit the succulent bill. I mean, I don't want it to look too uniform, but I don't want to look like it's just randomly just thrown in there either. I mean, it's pretty to look at, but it's not really something that I would... So we got to tilt these up a bit more, huh? So there we go. And this back side here, we stick this in here to make it extra succulent, huh? Okay, I'll slide these off to the side here. Okay, and we take our big giant grape thing, stick that there. Now it looks really succulent, huh? We're not done yet. Well, mystery has been solved. That is actually a keepsake box right there. They even have an inset too. So you just come in here, you'd place these in here like this. I guess if you want to do different arrangements or something. So that's what that was for. Alrighty. And then we got to put all these together. So let's get into position here, and then we'll slide all these together. Let me see if I can raise this up a bit more for you. And we will focus it in. I have everything set on manual focus. When I do tutorials, it just makes it easier so I don't have to, the camera doesn't do the focusing bit. Okay, looks like the picture. And we're going to slide all these together and hope they don't break. And I'm sure this is probably meant to be done in different configurations. So it looks like a little garden. Is it pretty sturdy? Well, you wouldn't want to pick this up with one hand. You may want to leave this on a table when you put it up. And let's see if it's got any more stuff in the book here. Does it talk about more succulent stuff or no? Yeah, so see, you can rearrange these. Oh, it just rotates it. Rotate it again, huh? So I guess we're going to capture every angle. And there it is. You know, for final assessment, it's it honestly adds color to my counter. But other than that, though, I mean, it was okay. But would I run out and buy this again? No, I wouldn't. I don't think I'd ever would put another one of these together again. But yeah, I mean, it's a different building experience nonetheless. It's a nice display piece, but that's pretty much what it is. So I hope you enjoy the build progress of the Succulents by the LEGO Creator Expert Botanical Collection series.